Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 109 of the Two Twos podcast. I am Nana.
And I am Rose.
And together we are Two Twos. All right. How are you feeling today?
Do you know, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling, I feel good, you know. I feel like I had a lot of sleep.
Yeah.
I did actually have a lot of sleep, but I just feel, I want to sleep at a better time than usual.
Do you feel rejuvenated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
I feel great. I'm a bit tired because I went to sleep late last night. As I said, sometimes I'll be fighting sleep, but I feel really good. This is the first time, I think maybe in like a month, that I felt this good.
Yeah.
And just like, I said when we did our panel, so basically we did a panel on Thursday for the Elephant Room.
That was so good.
And it was for International Women's Day, which I thought was a month. I thought it was the whole month. I thought it was being celebrated the whole month.
Women's Day.
I think it should be a month. I think we should be celebrated for a month. But anyway, I was saying on that panel that I forgot who I was for a second. I forgot I was that bitch. Like, I was, like, my confidence was low. Like,
on the panel?
When I said I forgot who I was.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, like, I forgot who I was. I forgot I was that bitch. And I've come back to myself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I feel really, really good. And just, like, open and ready for the possibilities, like, you know. And also, I feel like when you're down, you forget it's like your blessings. You're just overlooking your blessings. And I think you should always remember that you are blessed, you are healthy. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got people that love you around you, and you should lead with that.
Yeah, that's true. Whenever you're feeling low, remember the words of Nana Duncan.
Yeah.
Or not the least, whatever you call her.
Please, okay, this is also a public service announcement. My name is not Nanalise. I know that's my Instagram and Twitter name, not Nanalise. But my name actually isn't Nanalise.
So many people think her name's Nanalise. It's so funny.
It's so funny. Like, people like, when they email us,
hi, Nanalise.
They'll be like, hi, Rose and Nanalise. And my name's not Nanalise. I just want to put that out there. My name's actually Nana.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But going back to the Elephant Room, a shout out to Michaela and Shani. It was such a good event. And shout out to Monica Lee. Monica Lee is such a good host.
She is an amazing presenter. She's just like, it just seems so effortless. Like, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Like,
and shout out to B as well. B was also on the panel with us.
Yeah.
And also, we went on No Signal Radio on Friday with Lona Michelle. That was also for International Women's Day. And the thing about International Women's Day, is one day, but
that's what I was saying.
There's a lot to do, so it ends up like
being a month,
the whole week. They just did everything last week,
boy. Anyway,
we'll see what happens this week, boy.
Last year, I really thought it was a month.
No, that's why it's called IWD, International Women's Day.
You're right.
The hashtag, but yeah, there's something else that. Oh, guys, if you didn't come to Donny's party, our guest last week, Mr. Donny Sunshine.
Oh my god,
had his event to the left.
Yep,
and it was amazing.
It was so good. Do you know, I almost didn't go because it was late. I think I got there around like after 12. It was late. I was a bit tired, but I'm glad I went. I was being a grandma in it, and I'm glad that I went. It was one of the best queer events that I've ever been to, and I've been to a lot of queer events.
Is it a queer event though?
It is, because the people there that was queer, like literally everyone, even if they weren't gay or lesbian, queer is. Sometimes I feel like queer is not just about the sexuality.
That's what I'm saying. It's political. For example, one of the guys that was there, he's a straight man, but I will definitely call him queer.
Yeah. I even told him, you are so queer.
But he said it to us before anyway. He said he is queer. He's like, I've never been with a man before. I'm not, but I exist and I'm myself in queer spaces. He's queer, basically.
Yeah. But
he just dates women. And he's amazing as well. He's amazing.
He is amazing. But the music... The music, you see, when I hear like, if I hear like Destiny's Child in the rave, but it's like remixed and it
was slapping. Andre 3000.
I was shouting. I was actually shouting the lyrics out like it was some concert. Like, I enjoyed myself so much, and they played like 80s tunes as well, like disco. Oh mate, it was fantastic.
Yeah, it was good. If you're somebody, do you know what I think this event is really good for people who are queer but don't like the queer scene. I feel like this is a very much off scene hardcore events. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people, because when you say the scene, some people feel the restrictions that come with it, the drama. They think about the drama. I think that's what people really, really, really think about. And
it can be quite binary as well in terms of like the way that you present. So like, I think a lot of the raves are quite like stardom femme, like proper like that.
But you know what? I think it's even Pussy Palace and them, they would say that's the scene now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that even that.
But I think it's quite similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was good vibes. To the left is good.
Nah.
But it's not going to be every month, you know. He said every quarter.
I think he needs to make it every month.
Oh,
Donny,
yeah,
if you're listening to this, please, we need more.
Please send him DMs and just say, listen, we need it to be if you can't do it every month, every other month, we can settle for every other month. We can do that. I know that this is your time and your effort. Yeah. But we're going to attend, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll be attending. But yeah, that was cool. But International Women's Day as well. Also, I also did a article for Bustle, speaking about Black masculine presenting women being celebrated on International Women's Day, and let's get into that.
I think, first of all, I just have to say that the article was amazing. It is amazing, like so beautifully written, and just like, I said this already, it made me feel really, really seen. Like, and I feel like lots of people who read it, who present the way that we do, they're gonna feel the same. Like, I think the angle, because I feel like people do talk about this, but just like the approach that you took was very personal. And I really, really loved it. I really, really loved that article. I think it's one of my favorite articles that you've written.
Oh, thank you.
You have written a few.
Do you know, I'm a writer now.
Yeah. I don't see it in your bio, but
I put it in my bio now.
Oh, have you?
After the Bustle, I put
it
in my bio now.
Okay, good.
But the other day when we had to introduce ourselves at the panel, I was thinking I should have said writer.
But do you know what? I've noticed that we do this quite a lot, yeah. And when it comes to our white counterparts, they really sell themselves.
They're gonna, let's say they produced a video when they were in a project when they were in secondary school. They're gonna say they're a producer. They're
gonna shout all their accolades, everything they've done. Americans really know how to sell themselves. Well,
shout out to the Americans.
Shout out to them. We're British in it, so we're a bit more like laid back. Do you know what I mean? But we need to stop doing that, because I've noticed even when we went, so not only the panel that we did on Thursday, but also going on Lola Michelle's show. Yeah. You know, I've noticed that these presenters always have to tell the people what we do. We should be shouting about what we do. Yeah, definitely. But we're very much coy and shy, and you know, I think we should stop doing that.
We need to start doing more. I think like when we I'm sorry guys, the vape is not good for me. Anyway, I think that we even how we put ourselves out there on social media. Like when we do panels and stuff like that, we don't put any of them
We don't. And I've seen you, obviously more than me, do that. So when something is coming up, when an event is coming up or talk, you will put it on before, you will put it on our Instagram after, or whatever. And we need to start doing that, because that's what people are going to see. Oh, they actually do stuff.
And when we do it, we need to shout about it plenty of times. I feel like...
not just the once.
Yeah, and do you know, I realised that especially my British Vogue, when I did British Vogue article, I did the one reel and that was it. And then maybe like a week or two later, because obviously the magazine is still in the shops. Right. So I'm just like, So I did a whole, and then that's when it got more traction, when I did another post about it. Like, you have to just keep talking about these things, because they're amazing things. They're they're actually mini milestones in our lives, and we need to celebrate every single one properly.
I don't think we actually take the time to be like, oh my God, we did this. Do you know what I mean?
The elephant room thing as well, like the panel, it was like Samsung, the building was lovely. It was, we've never done a panel like that before. No. That was our first ever in-person panel.
And it was amazing.
No, since COVID. We've done one for AZ Mag.
Oh, we did do that, but that feels like a long time ago.
That was such a long time ago. It was in the beginning of the birth of Tutu's podcast. Yeah. And AZ gave us our first opportunity to do a panel. And even, do you know what I feel like? Everybody there, most people there were familiar. Yeah. Friends. It was a queer space. And, you know, it was just it almost felt like a friendly discussion. Whereas this was like corporates, paid. Yeah. And but normally we do these things on Zoom. That's the first time we've done it in person. And it was great to see so many other Black women there. Like, and women of colour in the audience. It was really, really good. But again, we haven't celebrated that. That's Samsung. No. It was Samsung and Clark's.
Yeah,
Two big brands, you know. We
that is
haven't even
huge.
like.
Don't worry, we'll be posting.
Yeah, we got to post about it. You got to post about
We'll
it.
be posting, but yeah, even like Lola Michelle having us on her show. Shout out you, Lola Michelle, because she actually is a fan of the
big up to Lola
of
Michelle
the podcast, and I really appreciate that because she had made it a point to have us on, specifically us, because we're black women, masculine presenting, queer. That's like really, really important.
Yeah,
like I feel like we are always overlooked as women when it comes to certain things, like in the media, and it was just really nice of her to think, oh wait a minute, let's put these people on.
I think that we're overlooked in like all things, even like in queer things, we're overlooked because I don't know if we just look too.
Do we look threatening? Let us know. Use the hashtag. Use the hashtag TT's podcast.
I don't know.
Let us know if we look threatening.
If we're butters, I just don't know what it is. Yeah, because I don't know. We said it before, and do you know what? It's actually funny because some people have complained that we always talk about the mixed race and light skinned people who get all the opportunities and stuff like that. A lot of the brand deals, and somebody said that we don't like mixed race people.
Oh, someone said that?
Yeah, it's one of our guests, remember?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That we don't like mixed race people. And that we're looking for some quality here. Yeah. We're just looking for representation.
That's all, yeah.
And, you know, I'm not a mixed race person, and I'm also not light skinned. When you are light skinned and everyone has different privileges, right? Even we do. Yeah. There's certain privileges that we have that somebody else is not going to have, yeah? Not even a white person is going to have that privilege in some certain things. For example, Cesare, shout out to Cesare, she did a TikTok video talking about she went to the club of two of her friends. One of them was a white girl, but she was big, and then there's two black girls. They went to the door, and then they didn't let the white girl in. Now, in that moment, she wasn't. Her white privilege didn't let her in. But in the moment, the fat phobia kicked in, and the two slimmer girls were allowed in. Right. So that's a privilege that because they're slim, that's a privilege that they had in that moment, and what the white girl didn't have, even though they're black. So sometimes you just have privileges other people don't have. Right. And that goes for when I see masculine presenting representation. Like these people that I see, when I see someone that looks like me, I'm thinking about the barriers that they've had to push through to get this opportunity. I'm not just thinking about this person's light skin and they're there. No, like I think about the journey that has got them for them to get there. Yeah. I think about like how relatable this person is to me. And if I always see the same old people that have certain privileges that I don't have, always chosen to do things, and it makes me feel like I'm not afforded these things. Like, why can't I have these things? I don't see myself. I don't see my experiences there when I see someone who's lighter skinned and mixed race always given the queer opportunities. So that's what, and I think that, do you know what? When people DM us, a lot of the time, they are dark skinned, masculine presenting people that DM us and say, oh, you know, I big up you lot. Because they see themselves, do you know what I mean? They see a shared experience. They see that, all right, cool, I can do this as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like seeing yourself really does validate that, oh, I can do these things. And I think like people are going to say, it's the same way that people are going to say, oh, well, you don't like white people, you're anti-white, because we talk about white people having privilege and them being afforded certain opportunities. But it's not that we don't like white people, we don't like mixed race people, we don't like light-skinned people. That's absurd. It's crazy. Do you know what I mean? But it's just not fair, basically. It's just not fair. I think quite recently it's just like it's really, really like been playing on my mind, specifically even within the black community. And I think like there's many things here, like obviously we're masculine presenting and, you know, like we're not light skinned. So even from the black community, I think there are things that we are overlooked for, and in the queer community I think there are things that we are overlooked for. Like that's a double whammy right there.
It's a double whammy,
do you know what I mean? Like it is a double whammy. And I feel like do you know what, it's annoying having to be some underdog and having to, because every single time we are picked to do something, we deliver. Do you know what I mean? And deliver so well. We're never
expected to deliver in the first place.
That's the point. That's the point. That's the point I'm making.
Not to mention names, but we almost missed out on opportunity because they said another popular podcast was they're going to work with them in the future. They haven't even worked with them yet. They're going to work with them in the future. So they didn't want to work with us. And but in the end, the person who did the casting was like, no, they're a queer podcast. That one's not a queer podcast. It's different. They're masculine presenting. The other ones are they're feminine. They're not even queer. They're just different. Yeah. So the guy was like, no, this project is gonna go ahead with Tutu's podcast. Yeah. And then in the end, we delivered. We delivered the project, and now they want to work with us again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like being the underdog, I think people think that's cute. But I don't want to be the underdog. I want to be valued. Do you know what I mean?
From
I
the
want to
start.
from the very beginning, I want to be valued. Like I don't even mind proving myself, because I feel like everyone kind of has to prove themselves, but I just think there's just more to it's more than proving yourself. I think it's definitely more than it's them thinking, I don't think these people can do this, or I don't think they're quite right. But why do you think we're not quite right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Do you know, it's mad.
what
Yeah,
the bias is
like, I
there.
think I said to Nana, was it this week or last week? I was saying, do you think that we're better than we are? Like, why? Because I think, do you know what I mean? There was just a few things that happened this week, and we're just like, we should have been there. Like, we should have been invited. And I think that, like, it's okay to say that as well. Like, let's take all the humility and whatever. Like, let's not be humble here. We should have been there as well. Yeah, we should have been invited. And so I said to Nana, I was like, do we think that we're better than what we actually are?
I was like, no.
Yeah, like, and it's sad that it makes you start to really question
like,
your value,
your worth. Yeah. I do. I'm just like, no, I don't. I just don't think that we are palatable. That is where, you know, that is my conclusion. I don't think we're palatable. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like maybe we do make, you know, people feel uncomfortable.
I think that if people are uncomfortable with us, because we're actually very nice girls.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're actually just nice people, yeah. And I feel like if people do feel uncomfortable, they have to check on their biases. I don't think it has anything to do with us. Like, just, like, it's like people that are homophobic, like, babes, like, it's, checking within yourself.
Yeah. I really do feel like people need to really think and start to question their thoughts and feelings towards certain things, because I feel like more time you're just going through life, like you might be conditioned in a certain area, but you're not questioning why these conditions, you're not questioning it, you're just moving through it, you know. Like, I think people
you have to question. That's how you grow. Like, when you question, hold on, why do I have a problem with that? Yeah. And a lot of times people don't have an answer. For example, the guy we spoke to the other day, yesterday, every single time I asked him, like, why? He didn't answer the question. He never answered the question as to why he felt so uncomfortable around gay men and stuff like that. And he don't know. There's no issue there. Like, you have to check you have to. And he's not going to grow as a person if he doesn't learn to answer those questions. Even if you don't want to tell me, like, answer them to yourself internally. Like, why do I actually have a problem? And if you can't think of the why, there's no why, then let it go and release yourself of this unnecessary stress.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
It's true. I just want to say it was International Women's Day, last week. And I just want to shout out J.K. Rowling. Fuck you. That's what I've got to say. Fuck you, J.K. Rowling. Fuck you.
J.K. Rowling is moving mad. I saw your tweet saying that how you've written a whole book series about a young boy who was othered.
Yeah.
And then you have this so much energy for, like, trans people. I think it's just...
How are you wasting so much time and energy on this? It's not doing it. Like, what are trans people doing to you?
Do you know what I think like sometimes rich people have nothing better to do with their lives, you know?
Write a book. This is what you're an author. Go and write a book instead of tweeting transphobic bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, go and write another book. This is what you do.
Harry but adults. Go for it.
Yeah, like,
this is what Harry's been up to as an adult.
I just don't understand it. Like, she's got so much smoke for specifically trans women.
Child.
So much smoke. So I think Keir Starmer said that trans women are women, and that this.
Oh, is that where all of that came from?
This upset her.
God.
This upset her.
Do you know what's mad?
Why are you so pressed?
Do you know what's crazy? My friend was asked to do an interview for International Women's Day for at her workplace, and it's internal. And she was asked if what her favorite moment as a woman has been in her life. Yeah, and she said giving birth. And she messaged me, and she was like, she basically said the things that her body did to give birth. Yeah, and I get that, because obviously, like, going from not being pregnant to pregnant to having a child it is a whirlwind,
Yeah.
and it's like it's also really unexplainable because it feels like something's just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Even though it's been out of somewhere, genuinely, it didn't even. Obviously, I knew that this child was in me, and I knew that I was having a baby, but it didn't become really real until the baby came, and I had this shock in me that a baby came out. Obviously, I've been pregnant for 9 months, and it was still shocked that a child came out because it just feels like it's come out of nowhere. It's like, and then when they come out, they latch onto your nipples for breastfeeding. No one dares teach them how to do that.
Yeah, they just do it.
Yeah, there's so many things.
It's
like,
miraculous. Like, it's weird.
Miraculous.
It's weird. I get it.
So when she said that, I was like, I get it. Because it's like your body just adjusts and it's like, how does this happen? Yeah. And she said to me, like, that's what my favourite moment is, but I don't, she's like, is it transphobic if I say that? And I was like, do you know what?
It's such a hard one. But
Yeah.
I just feel like it's nature. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's such a hard one and I think it's about intention. This person wasn't intentionally trying to like make anyone feel bad. This was a personal experience of hers that she said, and I don't really think that's a bad thing to say. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't think so. I was just like, in the beginning, I was like, I could see the only way I could see that can come as transphobic is obviously. Like, they asked you as a woman. Yeah. They asked them for your personal experience. So you are entitled because that's your personal experience. Yeah. The only thing I would say is that, but that's not your fault, is that like trans men have babies too. Yeah. Like, they can get pregnant. Yeah. So it doesn't just come down to as a woman. Non-binary people have kids and so
some
do
women
trans
can't
men.
even have kids. Like,
and exactly. Some cisgendered women can't even get pregnant. Yeah. So, and I was about to say that, I said, you should put it in there because at the end of the day, that's your personal experience for as a woman. But she was just like, you know what? Nah, I don't feel comfortable writing that because you're right. Other people can have children, and it's not just a woman experience. Yeah. So maybe I should change that. And I was proud of her because she's a cis het woman. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. And I was just proud of that she was even able to like even think
question. She questioned it.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Maybe I would have said maybe yeah. And I'm just happy. Even like she was emailing one of my friends for an opportunity, and she messaged me first. She was like, "Oh, I just want to check what your friend's pronouns are before I send them an email." And I'm just so proud.
Yeah, like just really thinking about other people and just trying to create a safe space and make them feel comfortable is really, really nice. Because obviously her experience was about her. Yeah. So it's so nice that she's able to think, wait, hold on a minute. Will this make other people feel like invalidated? Like that's... Yeah. It is difficult.
I can respect it. Because when it is genuinely is your most favorite, no, it's difficult. But at the same time, maybe the question was problematic. Maybe it wasn't her. Maybe it was the way the question was framed.
Yeah, because why are we still asking that question?
Yeah. As a woman, what's been your favorite experience as a woman? I think, but it's International Women's Day, and it's just that. I don't know.
Do you know what? I understand why we have International Women's Day. Like, obviously, I think for a long time, women are like overlooked or just like not treated the same as men, I guess I would say. So I understand the need for it, but I think we need to open up, what a woman means. Yeah. Because right now it just seems quite restrictive. And I think that's what the issue is. Like, there are so many different types of women. And there are people that look like us. And I think that's why I was saying that we get overlooked. So we need to just expand, like, what our vision is of a woman.
That is true. I agree. I agree that, when people think about women, there's a certain image they have that pops up in their minds, and they can't even look outside of that. Yeah. And but I also think when it comes to, like, if we're going to talk about brand deals and media, I think that people gravitate to what is popular, right? And obviously, let's be honest, like, we are a niche. We are niche,
and they're a business. At the end of the day, they need to make money or whatever. However they profit, they need to. Do you know what I mean? They're a business. Yeah. We 100% get it. I 100% get it. But like, the world is not going to move forward if we're still like stuck on the same things. Yeah. If we're still like putting out the same kind of content and all of that, like, it's all very samey. Like, take a risk. Do you know what I mean? Try and be different. Like, go against the grain. Like, that's what's exciting. Do you know what I mean? Like, but
yeah, you just go. That's why social media is dead now, because like everybody is trying to like just copy this aesthetic that gets you the bag, that gets you the influencer bag, and it's just boring. There's no character. It's the same old thing. We know what to expect, and it's just it's boring, and I think that's the reason why we don't really see a lot of people. Instagram's birth from Instagram these days, like not solely just Instagram now, like TikTok, you're able to be yourself. It's so varied. It's different. Do you know what I mean? If everyone's doing the same dance, it's still but like there's so everyone has their own thing on it, spin on it and stuff.
Yeah, there's so many different personalities, like, and that's what's so interesting. I think with Instagram, there's just this one type, and obviously it's very like influencer focused, but there's just this one type of there's one type of thing that people are following, like blueprint. There's one type of blueprint that everybody's following, and it's so samey and it's so boring. Like, but with TikTok, it's just there's just so much like different kinds of people. It's so vibrant. It's so colorful. Like, it's so exciting. But
basically, TikTok is queer.
Yeah, straight. And you know, Instagram is very bland. You know what I mean? You know, basically, very very bland. Instagram is salt and pepper. And TikTok is Maggie.
Yeah, man. But this is it. And when they do include people that are not what people are not expecting, people do pay attention.
Oh yeah.
People are like, oh, that's different.
Yeah.
Let me have do you know what I mean? People do actually pay attention. And it's crazy because even the panel that we did, obviously we were the representation there. And all the other women were feminine presenting. I don't know if they were queer or not, but they were at the very least feminine presenting. And I noticed that there was an attention that we had because we looked different. Everyone's like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Yeah. And then at the end, everybody was like, oh, that was really good. We received lots of like DMs afterwards. And, you know, people appreciate the differences. They do. And people feel that they're learning something as well. They learn stuff. And I guess even our platform, the podcast, when we have straight people listening, listen to this, I'm sure in their everyday lives, they're not thinking, I want to listen to these lesbians, do you know what I mean? But once they do, they take something away, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So include us, babe, because you're going to add some extra Maggie sauce that you never had before.
Right. No, yeah, I think it's so important. I think we just need to go down that direction where we are seeing what's new, what's out there. I don't think that like brands and stuff actually do the work. Do you know what I mean? I don't think they do. And it's not just to be, this is the thing we've been talking about a lot as well. It's just I'm not just trying to be a tick box either. Like,
yeah, I want you to genuinely understand. Yeah. You know what I mean? But then people, in order for people to understand, they have to do the work, and people don't do the work.
They don't want to.
People just don't do the work. I understand a lot of brands and X, Y, and Z, PRs. I guess you have your quota to reach. You have work to do. You have emails to send and all this stuff. So I guess going to what you know already is just easier.
It's easy, yeah.
It's easier. It gets the job done, and you know at the end of the day you're delivering. But it's going to make your work even better if you do the work. If you actually do the work.
Just think about the audience as well. Like, what do the audience want to see? It's not just about like, you know, having the same people on. What about what the audience want to see? Like, you know, when it comes to the show, Dating Black, is it Dating Black?
Oh, the BET one.
Yeah, the BET show. Yeah, Dating Black. I didn't watch it. I'm not gonna lie. I know people that are in it, and I think they're amazing. But I didn't watch it because I didn't see.
At least I watched it and hasn't watched.
For once, I didn't see any queer people in there, so it didn't really grab my attention because I think. Yeah, it didn't really.
You felt automatically excluded.
Yeah,
I mean,
didn't grab my attention.
When I saw the trailer, I was that tweet, and I was just like, you know, Black queer people experience love too. Like, this is very heteronormative, and it's disappointing. And you know what? I said that, but I also wanted to give it a chance because it was just a clip, and I didn't know if that was a whole cast.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the whole cast. There were other members, but nobody was queer though. Like, the conversation was very heteronormative. Yeah. The questions were very, very heteronormative. I think the show was done nice, but I did find it to be very samey. I didn't learn anything new from it. Do you know what I mean? And it was because it was the same old representation that we used to all the time. Like, you know, things, you can chuck in a few influences here and there to get a couple views, but at the end of the day, it's your actual content giving it anything new. Right. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I felt like there's no shades to the people that made the show. There's no shade to anyone who's on the show as well, because again, I'm a fan of the majority of the cast.
Yeah, same.
I'm actually a fan. Like, I watch all their content, taking their articles X, Y, and Z, watch The Circle, all of that. Yeah, but it was just missing it was just too samey.
Yeah.
And you know, they did have the disclaimer at the beginning of the show saying that this doesn't represent all black
good.
love. I think that they put that disclaimer because when they put out the trailer, or maybe even before, they realized, oh shit, this is very heteronormative. Yeah, because even there was somebody on there. I just don't want to mention any names of people who was on there, but there was somebody on there that I know that if they realized it was very hetero, they would have mentioned it because they work in advertising and like they understand what representation means for the media and how important it is. So I believe somebody's mentioned it. I believe when the show was being put together, it wasn't even a thought. You know, people just do things in order to get their things as far and wide as possible, and not necessarily think about the representation. And what about disabled people who love, you know? What about, obviously it doesn't mean to say that nobody on the show was disabled, but nobody was there was like physically disabled.
Yeah, visibly.
And when we talk about disabled representation,
there's also a spectrum as well.
Like physical disabilities are actually a thing as well. So do you know what? Yeah, a lot of these shows are very heteronormative, and I think that's why I haven't really watched Love Is Blind. I kind of just like, I saw a picture of one of the couples. I think that they're still together. And I thought, oh, okay, they're black. I want to kind of see their story. Oh, Ayana and Jarrett.
Yeah, I want to see their story. So I kind of just like skip past certain bits to see their story. But the reason why I didn't watch the show is because it's very heteronormative. Like it's about, it's an experiment of like people getting to know each other without seeing each other. And I think that's a great experiment. I think that's really good. However, it's very like, okay, this is the man, this is the woman. The man has to propose and all of that. Like, it's just like, you know, very, very, there's no queer representation. There was in the last season, but it had a very negative like spin.
The guy that came out as bi.
Yeah, it had a very, very negative spin on it. But I would actually like to see something that is queer. We have so many reality TV shows that are so heteronormative.
So, man, do you know what it is? I feel like they just don't know how to. They have to keep the heteronormative element to things because it's going to appeal to a wider audience if it's heteronormative. You know what I mean? Like, the homophobes are not going to watch if it's queer. And there's a lot of people who are uncomfortable with homosexuality still. Yeah. On their TV screens and all that business. So I just think that they have to keep what appeals to most people, right? Which is the heteros. And I get that, yeah. And so now they have to figure out how do we include queer people into this without losing the hetero element. And I just feel like nobody has figured out how to do it yet.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I agree with you. I 100% agree with you on that, yeah. There was one show that I watched, I can't remember what it's called, but it was a show with queer people. So they were like, I think it was a bisexual show. So everyone there was bisexual. That show was lit. It was but it didn't do the numbers, is it? I'm not sure. It was a I think it wasn't American with people from everywhere, I think. But it was really, really good.
I haven't watched it, but I heard it was a really, really good show as well.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's not doing the numbers as like Love Island.
It's not doing Love Island.
Yeah. Which is the problem.
Know, it's difficult. It's really difficult.
But I would say it was better than Love Island.
Yeah. That's crazy. It's crazy.
It was just we love drama. And there was so much drama. Yeah.
It's just mad. Like there's a new dating show coming out on BBC Three that I've seen quite a few people are going to be in it. I saw it from yesterday. I think they launched like who's going to be in it yesterday. And I looked again. I was like, yeah, it's very hetero, isn't it? And it's basically, I forgot what the show is called, but it's about people who have been speaking online for a long time, but they haven't met up in person yet. So they could have put queer people in that.
Absolutely.
But there isn't. They're all...
Yeah. Do you know what? Catfish were able to do it, so there's no excuse. There's actually no excuse. Yeah. There's actually no excuse. You know. But I saw that and I know that you said that there's a LGBT gallery. Oh, is it a gallery or a museum?
Oh, the museum, the LGBT History Museum.
Yeah. And I think we definitely need to go and just see what it's like.
Do you know what? I did a panel. It's almost a year now since I did that panel, and the guy who is actually opening that gallery. So back then, they weren't in the beginning stages of the gallery, but they weren't sure it was going to launch yet. I don't think they were even sure where it was going to 100% where it was going to be. But I asked the question. Yeah. Obviously, I was in the panel. I shouldn't have not been asking questions, but I had to ask because like I was the only black person on that panel, and I was just like, So this LGBT History Museum, like, how am I gonna see anyone that looks like me in the history? Like, I was like, how
Glad
have
you
you
asked that question.
Yeah, I was
'Cause
like, how have you ensured
Yeah.
that Black queer people will be included? Because I was like, to be very honest, like all of your experiences that we've spoken about in this panel, I can't relate to, and vice versa. So when you do things for queer people, like, how are you making sure you're even including Black queer people, including this museum?
Yeah.
And the guy, I could see he was kind of like, yeah. And he was like, we will definitely be including like Black queer people. And he said he's said there's no point in doing this if it's not going to be inclusive.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like, I would not put my name on something that's not inclusive. And he was like, it's so important to me that every single type of queer person that is possible to cover, that we cover.
Okay.
So he was just saying to me, he was like, trust me, we've got you. He's like, every intersection should be covered, like as much as we can do anyway.
Right.
So I'll be interested to see.
Yeah,
because he gave me the confidence.
Yeah, that I feel more confident, because my assumption was that it was going to be very white. So I definitely wanted to go and see, okay, like what's in here. So I think we should go and do a review.
It's open yet.
It's open. I keep seeing an ad on Twitter.
On Twitter. Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it's open or if it's opening soon. But yeah, we definitely gonna go and see what it's saying and give you a review. Yeah.
Okay, we'll see about
You're
that.
saying, yeah.
So talking about Love Is Blind, yeah, and I was tweeting about Love Is Blind, right? I don't think we've been watching the same program. But then again, where are you up to?
So they just got into. Did they go Mexico? Is it Mexico that they've gone to?
Is that what you're up to?
Yeah.
They haven't left Mexico yet.
No.
Yeah, that's why Nana was on Jarrett's side. Yeah.
I'm not on his side. I'm actually. I think that worded the tweet very badly, but it pissed me off that he was crying over the other girl, Mallory, because it's, to me personally, it seemed that he had a better connection.
With Ayana.
He personally had a better, not that even she had a better, but he had a better a connection with Ayana. That's what I was saying. Okay. It pissed me off that did you see the way that he was barling about over Mallory? It really annoyed me.
Do you know what?
That was my point, basically.
Do you know what it is? When you continue watching the show, you see that Jarrett is a party guy.
Is he?
Yeah.
To be honest, he's got bare hustles that it seems like he's a party guy.
Yeah, he's a party. And also the people, you see them with their friends and family.
Oh, interact, yeah.
Yeah, so like you see a different, when he's around his boys, you see a different side to him. And yeah, he's just...
This is what I don't like though. I like that you put, like you said that. I haven't seen it yet, but I will. But people are different with different people. People are different with different people. And so I get that everyone wants to protect Ayana. But to me, from going on their social media, because obviously this was probably like a year ago, I think they're still married.
Yeah, I think they're still married. They had a reunion show and then they're still together.
Yeah, that was my point. I was just like, in terms of who had a better connection, I think that they had a better connection than, Mallory and Jarrett. That was my point.
But going back to the party guy thing, it's because Mallory was appealing to the party person inside of him. And then even when they met up in Mexico, or what Mallory was saying was, like, I've dated a lot of Jarretts. Do you know what I mean? That's the type of guy she usually goes for. Yeah. So that's why they got along, because it's like, he goes out and that's probably the type of girl that he chirps. So that's why they had the banter. But emotional connection wise, it was definitely better with Ayana.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's what I picked up on.
Better, but it's just...
But I could see that there was more of a sexual chemistry with him and Mallory. That's what I picked up on as well.
It's just like, is he actually... But it came down to, are you choosing... the party,
but what is the aim of
inside of you?
Exactly. But what's the aim of the show? Do you know what I mean? Is to really get to know someone for them. Do you know what I mean? It's true, and the fact that he opened up to Ayana, he didn't open up to Mallory.
Yeah, he opened up. But even as the show goes on, it's the way that he describes. When people ask him, why do you love Ayana? The way
how does he describe her?
He kept saying resilient. She's resilient. Who really wants to? Is she a soldier?
No, yeah.
Everyone kept saying he kept saying she's resilient. Yeah, I don't understand. So even her parents was like resilient. But yeah, you see as it goes on that it does. When people have their family members and it just gets more interesting. Right now they're still in a bubble. It just gets more interesting. But
would you ever go on a show like that?
I feel like the marriage thing is too much. Do you know what? It's good that they cannot get married.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I like that option, but also I think that it's not enough time to figure out if you want to marry someone or not.
Yeah.
So the marriage thing is too much for me. I think it's too extreme.
It's too soon, man.
Yeah.
It's too soon.
But I feel like I would go on a dating show though. I would go on a dating show, it just depends on what the ins and outs are of the dating show. Like, would you go on Love Island?
No. I think I'll go on a Love Is Blind, but I would never go on a Love Island.
Yeah, I think the Love Island is too much pressure to find somebody. Like, it's because I understand you're there to find love, yeah, but
a lot of them don't last.
A lot of them don't last, and a lot of people are doing it for the bag ultimately now.
Yeah.
So I think I would go on there for influencer reasons, though.
Yeah.
I would go on there for some sort of bag. I do think that not everyone's Love Island bag is has longevity.
I know it doesn't. It doesn't.
I
just think that you need to be, before you even go on Love Island, you need to have something. Do you know what I mean? You need to have
these days,
the first steps of influencer in there.
Molly Mae's pics were banging before she went on there. Do you know what I mean? There's a couple of the the white girls though, they know what they're doing, boy.
They do know what
they're doing. But then again, they're afforded the opportunities more before black people, so it's what it is, isn't it?
But this is what we were saying, even about like when it comes to our white queer counterparts, they have a huge followings and all of this stuff. Like it just is. It's the same.
Yeah, they have huge followings. They get a lot of opportunities, but this doesn't go for all of them. But what I find is I don't learn anything from them, and that's not just as a queer person as well. That's just like I just feel like
I do think it is easier for them to get certain things without having to do a lot. That's what I would say.
I don't think they have to do too much. I think that it's okay for them to take a picture looking nice and put somewhere in the comments somewhere something about love is love. I don't know, and it's gonna be like, oh, this is groundbreaking. Oh my god! But whereas for black people, we need to be educating. We need to be raising awareness on something. We need to be charitable. We need to be doing infographic before. Do you know what I mean? Before we need to be doing some sort of social justice warrior business before we are awarded opportunities, and then it limits us to being activists. A lot of the black queer people who are actually doing stuff and getting opportunities with their mixed race or black, a lot of them are under their activism umbrella. And
a lot more time, they're not really activists, and they wouldn't even call themselves
activists.
Yeah.
They I would have called, and I've been in an article about activism, babe. Yeah. I didn't share it because I'm not an activist.
Yeah.
So even in my article, like, that I wrote, I put a shout out to Shah Bailey in there, and I just put Shah Bailey. I didn't say what Shah Bailey does, but the editor, when they put Charlotte Bailey as an activist in there, so they were just like, oh. Like,
from what I know, they're right, all right.
Shah doesn't like being called an activist. Yeah. So it was a bit annoying that they did that, but this is what they do.
Do you know what? It's quite annoying because I feel like when you are black and queer, you kind of, because you're fighting all like these fights, people are going to assume that you're some activist because you're very vocal about, you know, maybe LGBT rights or black rights or whatever. You're now an activist.
But it's unfortunate. I don't want to say it's unfortunate, but because we're still educating people. But unfortunately, when you are a black and queer person, you actually are raising whether we like it or not. We're raising awareness about something
because we want our quality of life to be better.
We have to speak about that indifferences that we have.
We have to use our voice. Like we just have to, innit? Like so people can learn. Like people can learn, innit? Yeah. However, we're not activists.
We're not. Like, but you know what it is? We don't have a choice. We actually don't have a choice. Like we have to speak about the indifferences, the injustices that we experience.
Yeah, we don't have a choice. We have
because it's our experience.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like the white queer people, they talk about the homophobic attacks that they might have, whatever, but they don't speak about racism as well because they don't experience that, and they don't experience as many injustices as we do, and yes, they don't have to be activists by force. But I experience who is always in the bin. We all. It's mad that this is our experience though. It's crazy. Obviously, we do have joy as well, which we always speak about. Like, there's a lot of positive things that we can speak about, but it's when we speak about our differences, when we speak about the ways in which we suffer, is where we get the most, the most attention and stuff like that. Because we're speaking to somebody, we're speaking to people.
Everybody wants to know about like the struggle as well. Like that's always what people focus on, like the struggle and the hardships and the adversities and all of that. And we sometimes is a bit much. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes we don't always want to speak about that. We don't always want to relive those things. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes we do want to focus on the good and the joy. Do you know what I mean? So I think it can be a bit of like trauma porn, and I'm not into that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not into that. But yeah, I wanted to, you know, I've been thinking about like going back to International Women's Day and what it means to be a woman, right? I was thinking about like having kids quite recently because I'm quite on and off about it. Sometimes I do want kids, sometimes I don't want kids. And I mean, I think I've really gotten to the point where I'm just like, for right now, I don't want kids. Do you know what I mean? But I think somewhere still in my subconscious, there is this expectation of me to have kids because I'm a woman and we are conditioned from young. You know, we are conditioned from young. That is something that still plays on my subconscious, I think. Like bearing kids. Like even,
do you think it's playing on subconscious because of how socialized we've been?
Yeah, absolutely. Like 100%. Even though I'm queer, even though I know that you don't have to have kids, it's a choice. It's still something that I think plays on my mind, and I think it really is rooted in the expectations from like family members. I think it is, you know, because I remember I said to my mum, I don't think as of right now, I don't think I'm gonna have kids, and she looked at me like I was mad.
Yeah,
she was just like, huh?
Yeah, do you know? My mum made a comment about someone as well, something about she doesn't even have children. But what if she doesn't want to have children? What does she mean? She's a woman. She has to have children. This means that she doesn't. If so, listen to me. And one of my mum's friends, two of her friends can't have kids. This doesn't mean they're not women because they can't have kids. It's because but it's not their fault. This is but yeah, exactly. You can't have it for one rule for one, and one rule for the other.
It's true.
And I was like, how do you know that she can't have children? How do you know she doesn't want to have children? And she just was like, oh, you people.
They always say, oh, you guys always got something to say. Oh, you've always got an answer. Yeah. No, I hear it. And I think, I don't want...
It's interesting when people even say to me as well, oh, you've done it the right way. They're like, oh, you done
What's the right way?
They're like, oh, you had your child before you came out. You had your child young. It was before you came out.
It wasn't planned.
Like, it's easier for you. They're like, it's easier for you because now there's no more pressure. There's no pressure to have a child now. And... I mean, my mum's only grandchild. Do you know what I mean? Mum's got 4 children, and it was only me that's giving her a grandchild. Right. And she's getting older, and I do feel that pressure.
You do feel that, but that she wants more in it. Like, exactly. And you're the girtle.
I'm the only like living daughter that she has. Do you know what I mean?
So it's the pressure is on you.
Yeah,
or the expectation is on you.
And things like. You know, not to be depressive. Obviously, there's 4 of us. She had 4 children, but only 2 of us are still alive. And it was only me that has a child of it. And Kwame is younger than me. And he don't know nice time children anytime soon.
No, yeah.
He's not that much younger than me. He's 29. He's gonna be 30 soon. But
and it's funny. Even though my mum has 4 grandkids, it doesn't matter whether she looks after them, she babysits them, or she doesn't. Like, she's still looking at me to have kids. Yeah. And it's just like, where's this child going to go? Where is this child going to go? Like, I honestly don't feel like, as of right now, I just don't see it happening anytime soon. I think if I'm like in a position to have it, whether I'm single or with someone, I will. Yeah. But that's not now.
Do you know what? I've been thinking about having kids lately as well, but different to you. I think that I want to have a child in like the next 2 years. And if that's by myself, like I would have a child by myself.
Do you know, it's funny because I've always like seen myself have a child by myself. I've always seen it, which I think is great. Like, I don't feel like you should have to wait for somebody or wait till you find someone to have a child if that's what you want, because you might be waiting forever.
Do you know what? Having had the child when I was young and didn't know anything, I still did it. I lived in overdraft at the time. And I still had a whole child whilst I lived in the overdraft. And I didn't have anything. Do you know what I mean? I didn't even have a bed. I had to buy a bed, and I had to just, do you know what I mean? All this stuff. And
do you know what I'm excited about? Like, I think for you, is that it's going to be a different experience.
It's going to be a different experience. And I think, obviously I like children, and I do like children. But I am looking forward to having an experience without a lot of the trauma that surrounded my first experience.
Do you know what? Somebody said that. I saw a TikTok of a woman saying that, oh my God, don't let these people gas you into having a child young. Like, having a child when you're older is so much different. You're so much wiser, etc. And people obviously came for her because, like, I get it. But she had a child young. So she knows the two. Do you know what I mean? She knows the differences. Obviously, there's
Pros
nothing
and
wrong
cons.
with. There's pros and cons. There's nothing
both,
wrong with having a
yeah.
child young. But obviously, I think when you're a bit older, she's just saying the experience is just different, innit?
Yeah.
It's just different, and I can see that.
It
I
is
can
very
actually see
different.
that.
Like my whole life, everything that I had planned for my life changed, and my life hasn't come at all been what I thought it was going to be. Like not even like 2% the same as what I thought prior to having a kid, and everything changed. Like everything literally changed. I had to readjust to a new life, and also I had postpartum. I had postpartum depression, and I had it for time. And like when you're that young, and all your friends are going out to Barfest and you are just missing out on what the things that I should be doing at that age. I wasn't doing. I would use the term loosely, and that puts you in a really dark place. Yeah. And even though you have this beautiful child next to you, and you should be loving on them and sort of that, but because of the mental difficulties that you're having, there is just a disconnect. You just can't, like, you just cannot. You can't connect to this child. You know that you love them, but you're not really feeling the love. It's really difficult to explain, and that's not it's scary. Yeah, that's not something that it even makes me uncomfortable speaking about it in that way, because it makes it feel like you don't love your child, but you do. That this child is literally your world. You do, but because your world changes, and I've always been a single mum from day one. Yeah. Like just from conception, I've been a single mum. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like everything changed. No one's helping you. Yeah. No one's helping you. People are gonna help you change the child. People are gonna buy some nice trainers. People might babysit every now and then. But like people don't help.
No one's helping you. Yeah.
No one's helping you.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget about the parents in that moment. Like, and I remember someone gave me a gift card. Out of all the presents I received at my baby shower, I barely even remember my baby shower. That tells you where I was mentally. I barely remember my baby shower. And there was one of the girls, it's mad because I haven't actually seen her since that day. Yeah. She got me a gift card for H&M, and she this me, oh, I'm gonna get this to baby. She was like, oh no, it's got your name on it because it's for you. Aww. She was just like, everyone, there's all baby stuff here, but you are also included in this. And she was like, yeah, and that's the first and only time somebody thought about me in all of that. And when you're 20 years old, and 20 is young. Very young, yeah. When you're 20 years old and you're having to drop out of uni to raise this life, that just meant the world in the moment. And so yeah, having a child is not easy when you're young. It's not. It's not all that glitter. But it's been nice to have someone to grow alongside. Yeah, I guess.
As I said, pros and cons.
There's pros and cons. Like,
because a part of me wish I had a baby like early as well. Like, so there's pros and cons.
I very much, as much, it would always be optional to have a child or not, whether I had a child before or not. But right now, I really feel like it's optional because I've done it before.
You've done it, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Whereas me, like, I haven't. So there is this like pressure and like a different kind of pressure. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So no, I hear that. But yeah, like, we just have to see. It's just one of those things. Like, it's not by force. Like, you don't have to have kids if you don't want to. Even straight, I think there's more pressure probably on straight people to have. You know, and I think that we are kind of having kids a bit more later these days, but there's no, like, there shouldn't be any pressure, and people should stop. One thing people need to stop doing is like asking, oh, when are you going to have a baby? You don't know people's lives. Don't ask them that question. Like,
do you know what I think is funny? Yeah, is no matter how old you are, when you get pregnant, it feels like a teenage pregnancy. Like, all my friends who are of age, when they get pregnant, do you know what's mad? Even though I'm the lesbian, when my friends get pregnant, they always come to me. They always come to me, and I'm going with them to their appointments or all their abortions. You know what I mean? Whichever one it is, and it's always me. And it's mad because in all of them, they have this. Oh my god, I can't tell my mum.
Really?
We're in our 30s. Like,
they can't tell their mum.
They can't.
I honestly feel like if I was straight, and I got pregnant now, and I wasn't even with like somebody that was like, you know, like a proper partner, whatever, I'm keeping it.
I always say to all my friends that, listen, you could do whatever you
are
want,
grown,
but just know if you have this child, it's also fine.
Yeah, it's also fine. Obviously, if you want, I'm not. I'm not anti-abortion. I'm not anti-abortion. Do what you need to do. You people do what you need to do. But like I always say, for me, I actually just don't care if I'm 30 and I get pregnant and there's some one night stand or whatever. I'm have the kids, have child. Yeah, but we don't have the same, I guess, it's not that easy to have a child, like, for us.
Yeah, well, we've got to plan it, don't we?
Yeah, we've got to plan it and pay, please.
Yeah, we've got to pay. It costs money, boy. Unless you're lucky enough not to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, turkey. But you could also do turkey-based, innit? But we've had that episode, so go listen to that episode.
Do you know, actually, I was thinking, when I was thinking about having this child, I think if it was like a one and done, I would do it.
What do you mean?
I'll open my leg.
Really?
If it was a one and done...
Yeah, because you know what? It doesn't...
We're not doing positions. I'm not getting on top.
Sometimes, yeah. So it don't even take that long. Do you know what I mean? Some people can... Some people, 5 minutes.
Amara was a one and done, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was one and done. But I'm saying, the duration of the actual act can be like 5 minutes long. So it can be a one and done.
I mean, I just tell people it was a strapping it.
Yeah.
It's a one and done. I would do it if it was a one and done. But with it still has to be with somebody whom I like. Not like that, but somebody who I'm comfortable with.
Yeah, 100%.
It will still need to be that. I also have to have some sort of relationship with the person. But I don't mind if them could be my sperm donor. If it was able to be a one and done, I would be onto it.
But the thing is, I'm thinking now, like, about this one and done, because you definitely don't like men. So what if they look like they're enjoying it? It's the silence for me, guys. It's the silence for me. What if they're actually really going for it?
But the thing is, I guess they have to be aroused, innit? So they have to enjoy. They have to.
Does it really take that much for them to be aroused? Okay. And plus, you're a pretty girl. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're going to. I've seen Rosie naked, so I feel like they would enjoy it.
Do you know what? We have to.
How do you feel about that?
I feel uncomfortable.
Exactly. So I don't believe there's one and done.
I feel uncomfortable.
I think I'm more likely to have one and done than you.
I think I could do the one and done. I think if we have like talk beforehand, we have an extensive conversation about
boundaries and stuff.
What the boundaries are. Don't look at me. They can't look at me as well. They actually can't look at me.
So then it has to be from the back.
No.
What do you mean they can't look? Are they going to be blindfolded?
So basically, I'm going to be lying down. They're going to be on top. I'm going to have my legs up. And so one and done. Just pump a few times. One and done. That would be in the most ideal way, but they're looking up.
How are they going to look up and be,
If they're good at what they do, they know where the hole is. If they know what they do, they know where it is. They should.
So then I really need to, like, I'm really interested in this. So
they can't look in my face. If they can look down.
Can they touch your boobs?
No. It's literally a one and done. Because it's literally if I have to do it this way, like, this is not. I'm not even. This is hilarious. I'm considering going to the IVF clinic. That's how I'm considering.
Right, I hear it.
But if I had to do a one and done, I would do a one and done. But it has to be under my. They can look at me. They can look at my boobs. They can look at my boobs down below. They can't look at me from neck up. They can't look at my face. It has to be dark. Yeah. I'm not going to be looking at them either. I'm going to be making sure that the one and done is happening. See with me.
Sorry. That is so interesting. I mean, I don't know, like, if anyone's going to go for that just because they want to be involved in it. Like, I feel like they're going to want to.
Somebody will go for the one and done. Okay. At least one person in this whole world will go for it. But nobody that I have a relationship with is going to do that.
No, exactly. No one that you have a relationship is going to do that. And the person that I think will definitely like that one and done, I wouldn't want you to have that one and done with him.
Who's that?
What do you think? Wow,
I can't think. Guys, I forgot my boyfriend's names.
No, he's not your boyfriend.
Yeah. Oh, we talk about that one in a minute.
No.
That's that one is not. I wouldn't have a child with that one.
Yeah, no.
No, that one hasn't got the qualities that I need from a child. No.
Fair enough.
That can never. But talking of one and done, so I guess we are one and done.
Yeah, we're done. Thank you guys for listening.
Before we go, we have on the shout outs.
Oh my God, I quickly want to shout out my ex-colleague, James, who is amazing and loves the podcast. And
that's lovely.
Like, they loved the non-binary episode and they felt like they really related to that.
Really?
So yeah.
Oh, do you know, quite a few people did, Quite a few people did.
Yeah.
But shout out to Janae08.
Always tweets us and uses the hashtag.
They're on the disabled and queer and dating episode of Teaspoony. That episode was really, really good. And also shout out to Tara Rinde, you go girl. Shout out to A-Team Worldwide, our cousin. That's our cousin. It's a cousin.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, bang.
Oh.
And Manny as well. Manny is just amazing.
What did he
support
say?
That he said that we're such an important part of his week,
That is beautiful.
which has been amazing. Shout out to Nessa again. Shout out to you. Shout out to Kelsey Morgan. Hello. The soggy biscuit one. They were laughing at the soggy biscuit.
That was a mad thing still.
Shout out to Blob with a Gob. That is Toby. Big up to Karima. Oh my God. Okay, I don't know how we didn't speak about this. The homophobic attack
What homophobic attack?
in Box Park.
Oh my God, how we forget?
I don't know how we forgot about that. So Kareem, the reason why I remembered after Karima, because Karima's girlfriend is actually the security guard.
Yeah.
So shout out to you, Rosie. Her name's even Rosie as well. Karima, shout out to you too. Love the cakes. Hello. And basically, long story short, it's not even a long story to be honest, because it happened very quick. But we was in Box Park, just having a good time, dancing, boom, 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 boom. And Nana and Jean went to the toilet. And so I was by myself. But obviously Tayo was DJing, so I wasn't really by myself. But I was by myself. And this guy who was like hovering around us anyway, literally, so you left first, Jean left after you. Jean, I could still see Jean's back when he came to me. Jean had barely stepped about 3-4 stops. And he came up to me and was like,
waiting.
What would your husband say about what you're wearing? And I was just like, huh? You know very well that I'm gay. That's why you come to ask me this question, yeah? And then he was just like, he was like, gay, and you got locks, I was like, why has my locks got to do anything? And he was like, do you know about Haile Selassie? I was like, okay, here we go. He's a Hotep.
God,
he is a Hotep.
They are the worst.
Go.
Hoteps are the worst.
And he was wearing a leather cap. So I said, okay, it's all just, it's a recipe, it's a disaster. But leather cap, you come to him, ask me about Haile Selassie, you're a big man, 6'3", 6'4". You're sweating as well, yeah.
No, he looks mad. I'm not gonna lie to you.
He looks crazy. And now he was just like, oh, this me. I'm not here for a history lesson. I'm here to support my friend's set. I'm having a good time. So please. And I'm like this, please. And he was in my face because I was telling him that, please, because he was in my face. And then he was just like, he's like, you're wearing these locks like it's a fashion thing, but for you, yeah, you would never be accepted into Rasta. Even other people that wear their locks as fashion, they will be accepted into Rasta before you. I was just looking at this, okay. I said, I just started dancing, and then I could see that Rosie was looking, and then he started saying stuff like, if your friend is just playing Jamaican music, the moment she steps into Jamaica, they're gonna kill her anyway. You lot are not welcome in my land. You're not welcome in my land. Whatever. Saying all this homophobic stuff. He was just moving mad, and he was in my face the whole time. And you're bending. And the thing is, Rosie could tell because he's bent over because he's taller than me and talking in my face. So then she was like, "Are you alright?" So I leaned over and I said, "He's being homophobic." She stepped in straight away, and she was like, "Is there a problem?" He's like, "What? Why would I have a problem?" And she said, the way you're addressing me right now makes me seem like you have a problem. And he was like, oh, what did he say? And he just was moving mad. It happened so quickly. I literally turned around, yeah. And I turned back and there was like 6 security guards.
Wow.
They surrounded him in a circle. And then you've got to go. And he was like trying to barge them, like, I ain't going nowhere. I'm drinking my drink. I'm having a good time. I'm not going nowhere. I was like, you have to leave. So he picked up his jacket, whatever. And then as they were escorting him out, he smashed the door. You know, the door was shattered. But I guess as he did that, he also fell over. So he fell over, and then he had like 3 security guards at his feet, 2 guys at his torso, and they carried him out through some side door, and then he was gone. And it just happened so quickly.
Yeah.
And then the woman, there's some white lady that was eating. She came over to Rosie and was like, "I just want to know. I'm really distressed about what I've just witnessed. Is he conscious?" And Rosie was like, we're sorted, and the issue is sorted. Just go and sit down and eat your food. Yeah. And she was like, I just would like to know if he's conscious, because that was quite scary to witness. And I was like, he's been homophobic to me. And she was like, oh. And then she walked off. What in the Karen was happening? What in the Karen? And I was like, thank you so much, Rosie. And she was like, nah, it's cool. And that's my job. That's why I'm here, kind of thing. And I was like, no, like, it makes a difference, because if she wasn't a queer person,
like, would she have known that you were distressed that quickly? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She probably wouldn't have seen it, because she's probably seen it happen so many times.
Yeah. She's probably experienced
it. That's how she knows. And I just thought to myself, like, if she wasn't there, would that situation have been handled so quickly? Because it happened so quickly. I literally came and they were dragging the man outside.
Yeah. You lot came when they were doing the dragging. Like,
when they were dragging him outside.
It happened. So from like, I want to say the whole ordeal lasted about 6 minutes maximum. Like, it wasn't even that long. Like, and then you had all the guys who were watching him in my face were just standing. They're all standing there watching him. And then when he's getting dragged away, they were like, ooh.
I just want to say, yeah, like, the people that go to Box Park are scary people. That's what I want to say.
Oh.
Yeah, they're scary people. Even the way that they move to women and stuff, they're starving, they are hungry. Like,
I can see that they're revving themselves up. When they come in,
it's weird.
We're on the prowl now.
Yeah, it's scary. It really, really is scary. But yeah, I was just thinking, it made me think like this situation, that like, we really just overlook certain things. Like, even that what happened to you, which was horrible, we kind of just like, oh, it's just another one. You know, like, it happens often. And maybe not even specifically homophobia. It doesn't
escalate that much.
But yeah, it just doesn't escalate that much. But yeah, not even specifically homophobia, but sometimes misogyny and just like guys just doing too much, I guess, as well. That also happens. And we kind of just overlook it and just like keep it pushing. But
we overlook it because we've accepted it. We've normalized it.
Yeah, because it's so normal. It is so normal within like society that like men just act mad sometimes. Like, and I think we need to stop doing that. We need to start speaking out. We need to, because they're not going to learn or they're not going to change. Do you know what I mean? Like, so we just need to, you know, we need to really deep it, like, what's happening. I think so many times we just like, oh, okay, just sweep it under the rug. Let's just keep going.
Do. And I think I didn't even really deep it until I got home, and I was telling my friend about it, but I was telling her like, right, like, yeah, he did this, like how I said it on the podcast, and she just stopped. She's like, okay, but Ro, okay, how do you feel about it? Listen, I feel like I had a drink in my hands, and imagine if I threw that at him, and she was like, no, that's not what I'm asking you. I said, how do you feel about it? And I was just like, then I started thinking, oh my God, how do I actually feel about this? And I was confused. I was like, I just feel confused. I don't think I know how to feel right now. And she was like, I'll tell you how I feel. I feel sad. I feel sad that you've gone through that. I think that makes me really upset because you've gone out to have a good time with your friends. And in order for you to even present the way you're presenting right now, you've gone through a journey. And you're at a place where you're able to be unapologetic. You're able to be in a space that's not a queer space and still exist as yourself. And that has taken a lot. And for somebody who's a stranger to come along and almost undermine that whole journey is really sad for me. It's sad for me that somebody can go through so much to be themselves, and yet still someone for their own selfish reasons who doesn't even know you can come and interrupt that process for you. And then when she was talking, I was like, this is so true. I don't really think about it like that. I just see it as a in the moment thing.
Yeah. It's
but
true.
it is people do interrupt because then some people are left with trauma afterwards. Obviously, I don't feel traumatized, but when people do get attacked, they change.
Yeah.
Whether they got attacked on a bus, for example, they might never catch a bus again. Do you know what I mean? So things happen. There's consequences to everything, and it's true. It's true.
Yeah, it's so true. Mad. Mad.
But yeah, that's what happened, guys. Be safe out on these streets.
Yeah.
Back to the shout outs. Big up to Lyra. Big up to Toby Madge _Madge. There is somebody. Big up to Esther as well, etc. with Est. Big up to Tiajuana. I hope I said that correct. You know, the blonde eyebrows.
Oh,
big
yeah.
up you.
I know those.
Big up Honey Benson. Big up you, Honey. Big up K _. Do you know? Big up Ollie. It's Ollie. That's the pronounce that. Well, Ollie, there is somebody in particular that I'm looking for on here. I feel like maybe they've deactivated their Twitter because there you are. Big up, call her Sheer. That is somebody that I really, really want to big up. Call her Sheer. Big up you, always listening to the pod. I don't know if you actually live in Birmingham, but it says Birmingham in your bio, and I just want to thank you.
She does.
Yeah, like you're always interacting in the hashtag alongside of Nessa, and also big up Jennifer Opal. Big up you, and I think that's that is the shout outs this week.
Quite a long list.
There's actually two more. Big up to Rising Scorpio, and big up to Shlo Pappy. Big up you, Shlo Pappy. And you know what? Big up to MXM, Martha.
Oh, every week. Every week.
Big up MXM. So, yeah. That's our shout outs, guys. Thank you so much for using the hashtag.
Thank you.
we have one more. Big up to Gem Trey, aka our baby mama, aka Tutu's podcast baby's mum. Big up to you.
Yes. Big up to the baby.
I didn't know. Did I say pronounce your app properly? I'm not gonna come out here and say your actual real name, but did I say your app properly?
Big up to the baby because the baby was watching us.
Yes,
on YouTube
big
video.
up the baby.
Big up the beautiful baby.
But yeah, thanks to everyone who uses the hashtag. Some of you have used the hashtag, but I bigged you up before, so I didn't big you up again. So yeah, make sure you use the hashtag Tutu's podcast and conversation on Twitter. Make sure you also repost us on your Instagram stories. How about that?
Oh yes, I love that.
Yeah,
I love getting that too.
Big up everyone who wrote Nikki Nights. I think I really shout out.
We really shouted out, but yeah, McThicken.
But yeah,
always,
McThicken was always in the IG. Big up to Simone as well, our past guest. Big up to Shan. Shan gave us a shout out the other day. Sandy.
Sandy, yep.
Margaret, Nick, Jamie. Big up all you guys.
Big up Tayo because Tayo always reposts us.
Big up Tayo Iku. Big up you. Big up Adobe. Do you know? Because I think because Adobe's our friend.
Yeah.
We don't do the hashtag. Big up to Adobe Dimples.
Big up you.
Big up. Okay, I think that's enough shout outs now.
That's a lot.
Okay, that's enough shout out coming at some radio station. So make sure you use the hashtag. Make sure you rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you review us on Spotify. I've noticed that so many of you have been reviewing us and leaving us a 5-star review on Spotify.
Oh, sick.
Keep doing it. Also, if you actually watch us on Spotify video, let us know what you think about it. Like, should we keep doing that? Should we not? Give us some advice. What should we do? And until next week, peace.